22162 is our SMS line. Start with YM254. Or again, on Facebook, it's Y254. On Twitter, Y254 channel. Our hashtag is hashtag Y in the morning. And on Instagram, it's Y254TV. You guys, I cannot tell you how I love my job. I got to be front row of that astounding, shocking, and intense conversation with that Shiko Kaitani. We were just talking about sex workers. And this edition of Girls Talk, we have Peninah, our resident analyst. I'll give you that one. She's a gospel artist as well, and she's a motivator. Itabidi, because our topic today is sex youth and maybe their parents.
Yeah.
Let's start from where they left off.
Yes.
Sasa,
Yeah.
what happens when you, because the two that were here had started doing sex work at the ages of 13, 14. Now and the lady, I can't remember her name, the lady over here said that it's for her friends, for some of her friends, it's a fetish or it's something that they just like to do, not necessarily that they need to do it. So what happens when a 13-year-old who doesn't have to do it, who has parents who loves them and all these things, just gets into this line of work? What as a motivator?
Yeah, no, let's say our topic today is supposed to be the talk between the daughters and their mothers on sex.
Okay.
So as we look at the way they were talking, you look at them. Okay, I don't say not all of them just start because they were brought up in where there was nothing. There are those who even do it out of just, I don't know how. But what I wanted to look at is like, how do we talk to our children about sex? Or do they just discover? Oh, because basically sex is good. It's a gift from God. Okay. And it is life, because you personally, you are a product of sex. Okay. Your mother did not have a praise and worship service for you to come out. You are a product of sex, and every one of us. So when you look at it like that, you don't just like as something evil. Okay. It is life. It's also life. So as children grow up, as parents, are we talking to our children about sex? Do they come to discover it in school or in the TV or anywhere? Or are we talking about sex to our children and at whatever age? Okay. Because you may come to discover a girl, you start talking to the daughter about sex when she's 13, when she's pregnant, or when she starts like that. So we wanted to look at how do we as parents need to be free with our children and discuss this, because it is life. They need to know, but it has its own timing and when to do it.
What happens if you're 13 years old and you're a sex worker? Do you really want to know as her mother? Do you really want me to come and have that conversation with you that, oh my goodness? Okay, there are many things that lead people to become sex workers. Like you add like Olive. The way she started, she was pushed into it by someone. She was a house girl and pushed by the man of the house because she got pregnant and she didn't want to do it. Okay, let's say the bold sister here. She said that she started when she was very young, so she grew doing it. Okay, it's not everybody who gets to sex working. Okay, let's talk about exactly that. Like, let me refer to my case in Kirinyaga, which I told you. Okay, I had a meeting with them. I happened to be seen by somebody like today. As she called me, I started at 15 also. And by the age of 38 is when she got saved and stopped. Okay. So she wanted to recover, like I also want to recover others. From 15 to 38? Yeah, she was doing it. And she was even engaging in robbery cases and all that. So when she gave her life to Jesus, she wanted... What cases? When she was opening up to me, she said that she used to help even robbers, even to maybe to get to place when they want to go to rob. So she wanted to change. And she was doing like all over. She was not just a sex worker. From 15 to, by the time she got 7, it was 38. So she felt like, if I have accepted to change, I can tell somebody else to change. I can tell them we can wash clothes, we can do this, we can do this. But it was not easy, because the same place where you are a prostitute is a sex worker, is where you want to come and tell people that you can stop it. So she was going through rejection. So we had a meeting. She called me. I called her into Nairobi. Then I went to Kirinyaga. We had a meeting. I told her to call me. They were about 100. And we talked to them. They were many. Now, they have different issues which leads them. Most of them start very early. Like there's one lady who was around 78. And she told me, I'm telling the truth, I cannot stop it. 78 years old? Yes. I can't stop.
But there are those you can see they are crying, like Olive there was crying. She doesn't like it, but she's pushed by circumstances to be there. So it depends. It is just about circumstances. Others will tell you, my husband died. She's a young lady, and she was chased away with the children. So environment is very important. Who is around you? Where do they lead you to? So she was led into that. But it was amazing because they could even praise and worship and even cry while praying, because we had a very good meeting together. So I'm just saying that it depends on how did you come to know this? Did you discover? Because if you don't talk to them, they discover even through the house boys in the house, their hangers, their cousins, and there's a lot of molestation in the family. Let's talk the truth, because of not knowing what is there. So talking to our girls, I think, can decrease this. You know, when maybe a girl gets pregnant or gets an STI, and it's not free for the mother, she can't even come and tell you she has an STI. Because you've never been free with that.
But these are the things that you're okay with. You won't get out of my house forever and ever. I don't ever want you. You have brought shame to the family. Are you sure you want to know these things as parents?
But you know, it is life. Whether you want to know or you don't want to know. This girl is growing. And you can look at her and see she's coming to know what is happening. If you don't talk to her, she will know it from another place. And maybe know it in the wrong way. Or be led, depending on the environment associations she has, be led to what she's being led into. Yes.
Okay, I have a couple of questions for the sex talk, maybe, and the progression of from being taboo to being something just basically creating awareness. Yeah. Before we get to that, now this 78-year-old, she's a sex worker. Yeah. At 78. Yeah. So how, okay. It
was amazing when I was talking to them, like, how can we change? How can we help you? Okay. Because as they said, you cannot change a sex worker not unless you empower them. And even if you empower them, they cannot change in one day. Okay. There are those who do it because of they have nothing else, like Olive said. But those who do it as it's like a passion, or it is like their life, and it's like they're addicted to it. Okay. So this 78-year-old, when others say we are 28 and 23, we are saying, I will appreciate to change and I would like to come out of it. She told me, don't even dare. I can't stop. And I was just like, I know who is the customer. But you know, people have their own customers. She's been there for many years. So you don't know how. She has her own clientele. Yeah, clientele.
Okay, so, sorry. Now we come to this sex thing being a taboo or not. I feel like when we try, or when we're curious enough to ask, but we won't actually ask directly, because there's a type of relationship that an African parent has with their child. Yeah. I would argue that it depends only on how educated the particular places, so that maybe the freeness would be different here. So if, let's say, I have a very strict parent who never wants to talk about sex at all. In fact, if you just insinuate you want to ask something like that, as a girl, as a boy, today is girls talk, but it cuts across the board. And unafanya nini, unafikiria nini? Instead of going to read and get good grades, you're asking me about foolish things. What's happening? What happens to that dynamic?
That's a very, let me not call them bad parents, but it just, I think it's lack of information. Because you are trying to become strict, but life is not strict. Okay. She will discover out there. So if she doesn't get it out from you, she will hear it from the house girl and the people around her. So we are trying to be strict. You want her to read. But where is she heading to? Where is life, Val? Life is there. Okay. So she needs to get aware of what is happening and what she should expect, even when she gets there.
What happens if they're just conservative? They're just strict?
It is wrong. It is wrong for a parent to be conservative to their children, whether boys or girls.
Is it at this day and age? Because, you know, people cannot change in one day. If they've been brought up in generations of you cannot even eat in front of your parents. It's
okay, these are cultures which are okay. I'm not saying people should.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Isn't it this one?
The society, there's society, there's culture, there's
thing.
religions.
Okay.
But let me tell you the truth. Whether religion, whether culture, whether whatever it is,
Okay.
sex talk in the family cannot be taken away. It is not there on our tables, but we better bring it, because that is where we are losing them. Because if this girl realizes, or the boy, even especially, I think girls are even not vulnerable like boys. The boy gets an STI. He doesn't know what to talk about. Then he goes on with these charges and maybe loses the fertility on the way. Are you are taking care, you are paying a lot of school fees, but you don't know what is happening in the life of your child.
You can argue that I'm very busy providing for this child. I cannot now sit and hold your hand.
Provision is not enough.
No one is holding my hand. I'm out here trying to make money to make a better life for you. It's all I can do.
Like the other day I saw, I think it was in Hebrew. It was like a movie. A show, African show, where the pastor and his wife were so busy with the ministry, and they came to realize the son and the daughter already are drug addicts. They were using cocaine in the house because they are too busy with the ministry. You should have time for your people, and you may have time and maybe take supper together and talk. But what are you talking about? Are you getting the root issues? These are issues that should be spoken about. They are real life and they are there.
Okay.
Yeah, a boy should start knowing, how do I realize myself? What is happening to me? Should this boy got to be told by somebody out there, and you are there and you can talk? Yeah, you feel, we feel like this is a taboo. How do you talk about it?
Things unspoken.
It's like you are leading him to do it. Whether you will lead him or her or you don't, the body will speak. Yes. I usually say, feeling attracted to the opposite sex is natural. Only it has its own timing. You just need to understand. When you know the truth, the truth will set you free. So when you know sex is good, but it has its own timing, you will now be conserved and prepare yourself for that time.
Okay, I have a slight...
But you have to discover. You will discover.
Throw a spanner as we wrap up the interview. Yeah. There's this thing called YOLO. You only live once. It's an acronym. So now that you tell me sex is good, and then now it has its own time, but you only live once, isn't that kind of telling me go
the information that you need to know is that you are timing for you to come into that the actual sex is like when you cannot. I'm not telling you that you may start it when you are in primary, secondary. Yeah. You need to know the information will cause you now to be able to be stable and even maybe wait. But when you discover, I don't know how you will discover in your own way. Second school, you hear about it, you know about it, and of course you will be approached. But when you have the information, you know how to say no to what is not. So it's supposed to be saying no. But if you conserve, you release that person to go to even to university. You have never spoken about to them about sex. They find it on the table.
On the table.
Yeah, of course. Am I talking?
No, you're not lying.
I'm saying, is that true?
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
you
true.
better let her know. So when she finds it being done and people talking about it, my mother told me, this is wrong. It has its own timing. I'll have to wait. I need to go to my education. But she discovers something and she feels good. She will continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Peninah. I want you to give I want you to give us your last remarks, and maybe you give us maybe some information on how to find you, because I'm sure every time you come and speak, you've motivated someone. So how can they get it just straight from you? They don't have to wait for that day that Peninah will be on TV. How can they get a one-on-one?
Okay, you can have my number.
Give it.
Okay, 0725 51 49 48.
Okay. All right. So last remark.
Okay,
in
last
a
remarks.
sentence.
I would like to say that let us not look at sex as something bad. That's why we come to see the bad effects of it come out. Let us talk about it as parents to our children, and let's educate them about it if it's possible, and bring it out on the table. Let people know what is happening, and let the children also be free to ask us questions.
That's what I wanted to
hear.
Okay, so
ask me as a mother. Ask me what you want to know. Okay. You are relating. You are relating. Ujafika kuniletea huyo mtu, but you're having a relationship. You can talk to me about it and what you're going through about it, and what questions that you want to know. But keeping quiet and closing the issue, still they will realize. Better talk to them early.
Okay. And maybe those who don't have such a free relationship with their parents or guardians can
okay, even the children also sometimes they are not free.
Okay.
The daughters and the sons. You should also, I'll ask you, why can't you just talk to your mother? Kindly, I need to talk to you. Can I have a meeting with you? Yeah, and break what you want to ask.
I like how bold you are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peninah, for inspiring so many. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We started at 7. It's at almost 10. It should be almost on the dot. And we want to say goodbye and see you tomorrow. We have... Oh, I apologize. I didn't know Shiko had more awesomeness in store. WhatsApp line is 0700345457. Or you can text us at 22162 and start with YM254. Please do get talking to us. Tell us who you are and where you're watching from so we can give you a very, very big shout out. Thank you, Peninah, and more Shiko Kaitani.